Well, hey everybody, it's Matt Stark here with Windermere. It is the end of August, and I just wanted to do another market report here. So I hope you're finding this information valuable. I'll just kind of go through some of my notes here, some of the stats, and just let you know where we're at here as we're ending up the summer and just getting into the fall here. So, inventory at this point has very likely peaked or will peak here within the next week or two. In 2024, it peaked the second week of September at about 1,180 listings. Right now, we have about 661 listings, so about 40% higher than the same time last year. Typically what we'll see is that inventory start to peak around this late August, early September timeframe, and then to start to decline as we get into the fall. There's less listings coming on the market. There's buyers that are still buying up that excess inventory here. I would say the trends that we're still seeing here right now is overall just like a cooling market. So for buyers, there's longer decision times, there's more choice. As there's more choice, buyers become more picky about what they're looking for. And there's also a little bit more leverage there in terms of the negotiations from the buyer's perspective. They can write low offers, they can ask for credits. Inspection contingencies are still a thing where they're trying to negotiate those inspection items. So, that's where we've been, and that's still where we're at right now. For sellers, though, especially, having a strategic pricing plan is no more important than it is right now. I mean, it is critical, and there's really no room for overpricing at all. Where we used to be able to build in a little bit of a buffer there in case an offer comes in low, those homes are not selling, or they're having to reduce their price later on. So the closer that we can get to really true fair market value for a property, the higher the likelihood that it sells in a reasonable period of time, and we're not having to deal with such negotiations here with the buyer. Overall, I think moving forward here as we get into September, what I'm really going to be watching for is, do we peak in inventory, when, and for, how many listings is that going to be? Also, I think a big thing right around the corner here is a possible rate cut with the Fed. And I'll shoot another video and talk a little bit more about that here as well. But if we do start to see rates come down, then that is going to increase the demand and hopefully start to eat into some of the supply and maybe balance the market a little bit more as we get into the fall, and maybe have a little bit of a tailwind here for sellers as we get into the fall as well. So I hope you appreciate this information. I always want to get this out to you at least once a month. If there's any questions that you have about your home or your specific market that you're in, just feel free to reach out and we'll stay in touch. Thanks so much.